Did you see what's going on? Obviously, you've seen what's going on in California. But the governor gave this creepy fucking speech where he was talking about speculators coming in and talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down while it's still only 6% contained. And he did this little dance like, I've been talking with these, with the governor of Hawaii about what to do. We got some ideas. A speculator. We're gonna have some meetings. Like, he's
really?
Oh.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is now calling his city's homeless encampments unacceptable, which is odd since he's the guy who, made them acceptable, turning sidewalks into red carpet events for drug addicts, thieves, and unemployed CNN anchors. On Monday, he urged cities to ban the camps from sidewalks, parks, and other public areas. So after years of denying the problem, he's now pretending to fix it, which is like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse. Who hasn't?
It started with a smirk and ended in scorched earth. Somewhere in the middle, Gavin Newsom couldn't even remember which camera to panic into. Joe Rogan came out swinging facts like kettlebells. Greg Gutfeld followed with punchlines that hit harder than California taxes. What happened next? It wasn't just a takedown. It was a slow-motion policy implosion. And no, not even Newsom's hair gel could hold it together. You're gonna want popcorn for this one.
Not President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. That guy's a fucking con man. Everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids to being caught public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors.
Yeah.
Nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone-cold, narrative-driven politician. Nobody thinks he's a real human. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. Same thing with RFK Jr. Whether you believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective, and that's a human being. With Newsom, you got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people want that. But
Trump
they
cuts
might
to
want
Gavin Newsom. The camera zooms in slowly on that award-winning hair, like it's about to broker world peace through conditioner. He's at the podium, radiating the confidence of a man who thinks the world needs way more of him. Then, boom, the voiceover hits like a dropped mic. Because when these two bulldozers of BS detection lock onto California's sparkle prints, it's not a debate. It's a controlled demolition with...
Then ponders why Dems lost.
We lost. We lost the popular vote, and we lost the electoral vote. We got crushed. But
Kennedy, I think the answer is yes. Was
it because of Israel? Yes. Interest rates? Yes. Too woke? Yes. It's like every bad policy that trickled up to the White House during the Biden administration started in California. That state is responsible for the worst politicians in modern history. And he is at the top of the list, and there are some ignoramuses on that.
Now let's talk about Gavin. The man walks into a room like he's closing the runway at a fashion show titled Government Overreach, but make it sexy. He's mastered the politician's triple threat, smiles like a toothpaste commercial, talks like a TEDx speaker, and governs like the Wi-Fi stuck on loading. On paper, he's the poster child for progressive leadership. Charisma, climate buzzwords, and just enough recycled paper in his back pocket to win an award.
Their houses have been burned, all their childhood memorabilia, all the stuff for their kids, the photos, the fucking everything they have. Everything they have is gone. All heirlooms, their mother's wedding ring, that kind of shit. Everything's burnt to the ground. And this guy's like standing in front of all this stuff, and he's got a smile on his face, and he's talking about land use.
The development plan.
Let's talk land use and development. Watch this. We won't even get into the climate sermons. Gavin's got enough green policies to stock an entire Whole Foods. Meanwhile, California's energy grid is so fragile, a stiff breeze sends it into existential crisis. Go electric, they cheer. Right before begging residents not to charge their cars between 4 and 9 p.m. because the sun clocked out early. Peak irony? Banning gas stoves while half the state cooks dinner by flashlight.
He's the guy who thinks he's going to run for president when, so much of the state is absolutely unlivable. And so every project that he's championed, he's now trying to demonize conveniently. And people are not that dumb. Like, people have been through it in his state. They are sick of him. They want him to leave. And maybe that's why so many people around him are like, you should totally run for president. So he gets out of the state.
Yes. Move away. Tyrus, did he leave out any?
Joe Rogan didn't just leave California. He evacuated, like a man who spotted a glitch in the simulation and decided to unplug himself via Interstate 10 East. And honestly, who could blame him? When your home state starts looking less like Malibu and more like a live-action Fallout trailer, even a sauna-loving, elk-hunting podcast king has to tap out. Rogan traded Hollywood smog for Texas freedom like a UFC fighter ditching kale for creatine. And he didn't do it quietly. He took the biggest megaphone on earth, the Joe Rogan Experience. This isn't your aunt's podcast. With over 100 million listeners and an algorithm that probably gives CNN nightmares, Rogan's platform is a cultural juggernaut. His secret sauce? Zero filters, maximum. What the hell is going on here? Energy. And nothing triggered that signature Rogan eye twitch faster than Gavin Newsom's lockdown logic. While Californians were locked inside, Gavin was out dining like it was a tasting menu apocalypse. Rogan called it exactly what it was: elite immunity from the rules. He dragged Newsom's hypocrisy so hard, the French Laundry's reservation system nearly collapsed under the weight of shame.
Down in Hawaii, you had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
With a big smile on his face. Look at the little wiggle he does with his shoulders. Speculator, watch this. Talking to Josh. Look at this. Look at this little wiggle. It's excited about the possibilities of speculators coming in. And he's saying we're move forward. We're going to move forward on that. These people lost their homes. A lot of those people don't even have fire insurance because the fire insurance pulled out of California. I think like 69% of fire insurance pulled out of California because they're like, this is too crazy. Like, you guys aren't doing jack shit to manage this. You're not clearing the brush.
He didn't do it alone either. Rogan brought in the big brains, doctors, economists, and comedians with master's degrees in sarcasm, and they all painted the same picture. California's policies made less sense than a TikTok investment seminar. Restrictions hammered small businesses while leaving corporate giants untouched. Health guidelines felt like they were pulled straight from a magic 8-ball. And through it all, there was Gavin, smiling like trust in government could be bottled and sold with his hair. Then came the tech exodus, a modern-day Oregon Trail, minus the dysentery and plus Teslas. Rogan didn't just talk about it. He lived it. Packed up his studio, moved to Austin, and set up shop in a state where power outages aren't a daily dice roll. But his sharpest jab? It didn't come from charts or expert guests. It came from something more raw, the vibe of lived experience. The message was clear. California didn't just lose talent. It pushed it.
Californians have lost their homes and they're still suffering from the devastation. What does Gavin Newsom decide to do? Well, now is apparently the perfect time to try and boost his popularity and essentially promote himself. He's launched a podcast. I'll play you the trailer in just a moment, but take notice. Does the trailer that he shared with the world on X, does it even mention the most horrific fire catastrophe that occurred under his leadership, partly as a result of the decisions he was making, like cutting fire prevention? No, this is his chance to talk about his image, insisting that
Rogan didn't need to scream. He didn't need to exaggerate. He just looked around, grabbed the mic, and said what everyone with common sense was already thinking. This doesn't work. Then came Greg Gutfeld, like a raccoon with a thesaurus and a grudge. The guy doesn't just roast, he flambés. He's not ranting, he's filleting every ounce of phoniness with a smirk, a punchline, and a side-eye sharp enough to curdle almond milk. Gutfeld is a 5-course meal of mockery, wrapped in photo-ready hair. He takes one look at Newsom's airbrushed aura and nails the contradiction. The man looks like a cologne ad and governs like he's trying to win SimCity on nightmare mode. Gutfeld lays it out. Here's Gavin on the cover of Vanity Fair, looking like a politician manufactured in a Westworld lab. Now zoom out. Behind him, tent cities, human waste on the sidewalks, boarded up businesses parked next to artisanal juice bars. It's dystopia meets day spa. And somehow, Newsom's still grinning like he just solved homelessness with a scented candle and some self-affirmations.
I think there's about 100 other reasons too.
Well, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Yes.
Go back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink, look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending, I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
But Gutfeld doesn't stop at dunking on Gavin's aesthetics. He goes straight for the jugular, media worship. He calls out how legacy outlets treat Newsom like a resurrected Kennedy with a recycling bin. But the reality? It's less Camelot and more crime-ridden Coachella. Gutfeld's monologues draw blood by exposing the disconnect. While major networks gush over Gavin's bold leadership, everyday Californians are playing Russian roulette with rent, gas prices, and their sanity. Families can't afford groceries, but hey, let's run another editorial on how dreamy his policies sound. Then comes the climate comedy, and this is where Gutfeld hits his stride like a caffeinated sniper. Sure, the speeches sound lovely. Solar panels, carbon neutrality, equity this, equity that. But who actually pays the price? While the political elite parade around in government hybrids, charging stations sit empty, blackouts roll in, and working families get slapped with fines, all for the privilege of watching bureaucrats virtue signal on Instagram. Gutfeld tears through the fake green posturing with precision. Because at the end of the day, it's not about saving the planet. It's about
Gavin Newsom talks about California. He's like, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. Hey, they're all moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. It's too expensive to leave versus all the bullshit with all the permits and all that. It's too expensive. Believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective. And that's a human being. With Newsom, you've got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people want that, but they might want it more than they want President.
Then comes President Trump, but it's Gutfeld who delivers the most savage line of attack. While whispers of Newsom's 2028 ambitions swirl like gospel in elite circles, Gutfeld's not buying the hype. He mocks the idea that the guy who can't manage one state is somehow going to fix 50. He's running, Gutfeld quips, but it's from accountability, not for office. And the jokes write themselves. Newsom's national aspirations are like trying to franchise a restaurant that just failed its health inspection. Sure, the sign is shiny, but the kitchen's infested and the Yelp reviews are written in flames. Gutfeld's takedown isn't just funny, it's damning. Because behind every punchline is a truth too ugly to spin. Then it happens. The crossover no one expected, but everyone needed. Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld, colliding like two wildly different brands of truth-telling chaos, both aimed squarely at the cologne-scented hologram that is Gavin Newsom. They lit the incense, interviewed the experts, and came to one cold, grounded, deeply uncomfortable conclusion. Newsom's leadership doesn't just miss the mark.